So with the rest of the examples on this page, powers with rational exponents, that's just fancy terminology for saying, well, now we're going to have some kind of fraction in which the numerator or the top number isn't just a 1. And remember, I sort of alluded to that in this example up here. Okay? So we'll have a closer look right here. So here's our rule. X to the power of m over n is equal to, remember, the n becomes our root, and the m is our exponent on whatever the base happens to be. It can be written two ways. One, we can use or put this exponent inside the radical sign, or we can put it way on the outside of the radical sign, like in this instance here. Now, depending on the question may depend on which way you may want to do it. Some ways it works better if you put it on the inside, and other ways it works better if you put it on the outside. And the only way you figure that out is by practice. So let's look at our three examples on this page. Write 40 to the power of 2 over 3 in radical form in two ways. So 40 to the power of 2 over 3. Remember, the 2 is our power, or our exponent, and the 3 is our root. Okay. So I just simply put my base down, 40, draw my root sign. I know it's the third root, or cube root, with a power of 2. Now here's one way with it drawn inside the radical sign. The other way, I could say the cube root of 40 all raised to the power of 2. And there is our other way. Now we used to, or I used to teach this by using a little bit of a, little symbolic picture of a flower. Here's my basic flower growing in the ground. And we used to call this flower power. When we have fractional exponents, we would always call this flower power, and I'll show you why right here. In a fractional exponent, so for example here we have 40 to the power of 2 over 3. 2 over 3. Flower power, in a flower, this is at the top, this becomes our power, and because flowers have roots, well, this becomes our root. So it may help you, it may not help you. I don't use it very much anymore because I know there were a few students that did get confused with it. But remember, flower power, and the flower is the power and the rest is the root, and that might help you. Our second example, write root 5, in this case the square root of 5 in exponent form. Remember that if there is no number, then there is always that little number 2 that we never write. So we want this in exponent form, which means our base is going to be 3. Base stays as a 3. The power, 5, goes on the top of my fraction, and the root goes on the bottom of my fraction. And I'll just rewrite that without all the arrows. 3 to the 5 over 2. So 3 to the power of 5 over 2 as a fraction is our exponent form of this radical. Last example. Write cube root of 25 all squared in exponent form. Cube root 25 all squared in exponent form. So this is the power. This 3 is our root, and our base is 25. Base 25, our power 2, our root 3. And there is our radical written in exponent form. So introduction of a couple quick little rules that you just need to practice and play around with.